name is Melinda Macaulay, and I'm honoured to speak today about the personal journey to becoming a student member of the International Society for Equitation Science. My presentation is my story of seeking connection, purpose, and scientific grounding in a life shaped by horses. Like many of you, my journey began with a deep love of horses. I grew up in a non-horsey household, and at the age of 10, my parents, with the best intentions but limited knowledge, purchased a 2-year-old bottle-fed, uneducated Shetland cross filly. There was no budget for lessons or formal training, but somehow we worked things out. If I wasn't spending time in the paddock, I was in the library busily devouring every horse book there was. This, of course, was pre-internet days. Now, as a teenager, I became the young rider who would help the naughty ponies, many of which ended up in my paddock. At times, I was exposed to training methods which compromised equine welfare, and I often left those situations in tears. I didn't yet have the language for what I felt, but I knew there was more to learn and to understand. Fast forward to today. I live in regional Queensland in Australia, and while enrolled in a PhD at the University of Canberra, that's over 1,400 kilometres away. Studying off campus means I meet my supervisors online, and often I feel isolated as opportunities for professional engagement in equitation science are limited. I believe as humans we all need to belong somewhere, and I just longed to be part of a community where equine welfare and best practice and education were at the heart of conversations, where I could deepen my knowledge and connect with like-minded individuals. As a mature age student, I found myself drawn to questions rarely asked in my local equestrian circles. Questions about ethical equine training, equine behaviour and welfare, and the horse-human interaction. I spend hours reading journal articles where I began recognising recurring authors' names and their ideas, but I lacked anyone to really discuss these insights with. I was seeking evidence-based approaches that always kept welfare as the priority. One day, while searching online, I stumbled across the ISES website. Now, that just felt like finding water in a desert. Here, suddenly, it was a global community committed to the horse's welfare, not just through words, but through research, through method, and with real-world change. And as I explored further, I saw that ISES stood for everything I was seeking: improving horse welfare by sharing knowledge with horse owners, supporting the dissemination and application of scientific literature, and providing a pool of expertise to collaborate and advocate to government and sporting bodies. Attending my first ISES conference in New Zealand last year was surreal. Seeing many of the researchers who I had read and valued their research, they were there presenting, and just sitting back and listening to them discussing their work brought the science to life. These were people who I respect and look up to, and it made everything I had read feel real and applicable. It bridged the gap between academic literature and lived experience. The convention reinforced to me that this was a global movement dedicated to reshaping equitation with science and welfare at the forefront. And following the conference, I reached out to others and began forming connections that helped build my confidence and my sense of belonging. Through the webinars, the podcasts, and the networking opportunities, I've been inspired to think critically, ask better questions, and approach horse management with deeper awareness. I've connected with researchers, students, practitioners, and even business owners who they're all generous with their knowledge and their time. These interactions have shaped how I think, how I think about my upcoming research, and also how I engage with horses. It's been fostering the conversations grounded in evidence with thought for both the horse and the human. The influence of ISES has given me language to describe what I feel and the tools to do better, not only for the horses in my care, but within the wider community. These principles ripple outward, transforming the conversations and converting the criticism into curiosity, helping shift local horse cultures towards more ethical and evidence-based standards. Joining ISES has fueled my commitment to contribute. I want to be part of a cultural shift where evidence-based horsemanship is the norm. I want to see equine welfare, behaviour and learning theory discussed not only in academia, but also in the paddocks, the stables, the arenas around the world. And as a student and an early career researcher, I still feel like I'm just beginning, and the more I learn, the less I realise I know. But it also provides me with a desire to contribute to the research, to educate others and to help spread the awareness. I want to help break down the barriers that reduce the quality of life for our horses. And I want to be part of the timeline that shapes the future of horses everywhere. Joining ISES was more than just an academic decision for me. It was a turning point that connected me from regional isolation to international collaboration. It helped me, it gave me direction in an industry that often feels unregulated and misunderstood. The public is asking more questions, the expectations are shifting, and the welfare conversation is growing louder. I believe we have a responsibility to lead that conversation. And for that, ISES is not just a society. It offers opportunities to disseminate world-class research, to educate. It offers mentorship. It offers collaboration. It's a place to work together to raise awareness and drive positive change for horse welfare. It's a movement where science and equine welfare and education meet. A place where every voice and every question matters and the well-being of the horse is always the focus. So for me, this journey is just beginning. But already I feel more grounded, I feel more inspired, and I feel more hopeful than ever. And I'm proud to be part of this passionate and forward-thinking community. I look forward to continuing our shared mission to elevate the equine welfare, to educate the next generation, and to ensure that horses everywhere are treated with the ethical understanding they deserve. Thanks so much.